Twisted Christian. Today I'm going to be discussing penny currencies and just kind of give you an overview of what I'm going to do and what I am thinking when this whole thing, when the Dinar RV takes place. All right, I've discussed in the last two videos. If you have not seen them, you need to go back and you need to watch the last two videos concerning the currency law and how could it affect these currencies. You know, will they start raising their value before this the April 6th date where the new rule takes effect and be in compliance with it, or will they ignore it and pay the tariffs? Because if they ignore the rule, then they'll just pay the tariffs and business will be as usual when it comes to the currencies. There's still a lot of speculation of how it's going to affect the currencies. But what we're discussing and what we're dealing with is being ready, because the momentum has picked up even more, right? I did a video a week back about the momentum coming towards the global currency reset. It's picking up. We got things going on in the stock market. You got the virus going on. You got the Dow dropping. There's just so many things that are happening all around the world. And then you have Alawi there in Iraq, and he's looking like he's getting ready to do something for the people. And it just seems like all these different pieces are starting to come in place. So we got to be prepared. We got to be ready. And some of you may not even care. Some of you just have, well, I have 10 million dinar and I don't care about nothing else. You know, I just want to get it, retire, and do whatever. And, you know, that's fine. For the people who don't have the access to get the dinar, as far as a lot of dinar, and you want to be able to exchange it because you want to increase that. Some of you only have maybe 100,000 or maybe 500,000 dinar, and then you have to exchange it. And then you want to be able to increase that, right? And you'd be able to take, you know, if you turned in, you exchanged, and you have $100,000 in your bank, you could turn around and take 2, 3, 4,000 and put it into the very next currency that you know is going to take off, which is going to be the Vietnamese dong. So then you'd be able to take the money that you've been waiting for, invest it in the dinar, and when it changes in value, and you know that the Vietnamese dong is next, you'll be able to take some of that and invest into that currency. All right, but before we get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for your support on the Patreon. All the links, all the Twisted Christian support links are down below in the description. Here on this Google document, I also had the link there, as well as Robinhood, and then also Forex. If you want to be able to buy currencies digitally online, just be very, very careful. I've started using it, and it's been kind of difficult, the interface and everything. And then Exchange of America. All right, folks, so let's get into this. All right, so after the dinar revaluation, right, we're going to be looking at the currencies that may change in value, that may change in value after the currency global reset. And so we're looking anywhere from hours all the way up into a year. We're looking at hours, days, and then maybe months, and then maybe a year. So as soon as I'm able to exchange my dinars, well, for some of you, at the moment, after the dinar revaluation, you've waken up and you say, okay, some of you who have the access to be able to get online and order currency will be able to go and order those currencies that have not taken off yet. And then some of you will actually have to go down physically to your bank. Some of you will have to drive 30 minutes or an hour. Some of you are not very close to a foreign exchange bank that you can get foreign currency, and some of you will have to order online or order through or trade it through Forex. All right, so the first one that we're looking at is the Vietnamese dong, right? I believe that's one that's probably going to change in value within the first 24 hours of the Iraqi dinar. When you look at the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong, those two, dinar and dong, have been in the leaders as far as the global currency reset. The first one after the dinar revaluation, the Vietnamese dong, is going to be the first one that I purchase, whether if I'm at the bank or whether if I'm doing it online or whatever the case. But I also think, and this is just a thought, that some of these currencies that are supposed to have a massive spread, the dinar from where it's at now to $3 or even $1, the dong to where it's at to like 10 cents or 20 cents, those are pretty big jumps. And I got a feeling that some of them, I believe maybe even most of them, the ones that have the the biggest gains will probably go first, right? The ones that are ready. Because some of these countries, like in South America, their currency is pretty cheap, but I don't think some of these currencies in South America are going to be, some of these countries are going to be ready for the global currency reset just because of all the issues that South America has. So the next one I'm going to be looking at is the rupiah, right? That's another one. The Indonesian economy is strong. That's another one that I will be investing in, right? I'm also looking at the South Korea won. Remember, South Korea was named when they came out with that new currency rule as being one of those countries that is manipulating its currency to keep it low, right? So that's definitely another one. And then we got the Pakistani rupee and the KPR. Remember when I told you, when I showed you guys about the glitch? So they've already told you, to me, in my opinion, that their value is going to go up by over double, right? So that's the way I look at that. And then we have the Laos kip. All right, and that's another one that I will be investing. And then also the Iceland krona. Now remember I told you I had a dream about the krones and the kronas. They were going up in value. But see, none of these, I won't be buying any of these currencies until after the dinar revalues. Now some of you just might want to buy other currencies because you guys have like 10 million dinars. You just want to be able to invest in something different, and I understand that. But I'm not going to invest in any of these. I've already invested in some of these a long time ago. But most of these I am not going to invest in until after the dinar changes in value. All right, and these are all the ones that are less than a penny. Now you have like Chilean, Colombia, Costa Rican, Hungarian. Those countries, when I did the research on those, they're doing okay, but some of them are really bad, and those are just the South American currencies. Now those, as time goes on and your different currencies are popping off, and you know that maybe down the road these will change in value, then that may be something you can invest in. Okay, so we have the 1 to 9 cents, right? This is our currencies that are worth, for every USD, it's a penny or 2 pennies or 3 pennies. So there's a pretty decent list. And we have the Indian rupee, right? That's one that I'm going to be investing in. You have Haiti, you got Russia, Philippines. That could be a very another one that could take off. When I was doing the research, things were doing pretty well over there. Of course, there are some social issues going on there with the United States. Now, the Thai baht is going to be another one that I will be investing in immediately after the dinar revalue. All right, and there's a few others, and what I'm looking for is an increase in value. Now, once I've settled, and I've got the currencies that are on my list, and I've got them first, then I could focus on some of the others. Now, you look at the Mexican peso. That's something I'm going to look at because Mexico is probably stronger than any of the other South American countries because it's connected to the United States, and that's one of the big advantages that it has over its South American counterparts. But I could imagine that the peso could very well go up too. Now they've already signed the USMC, so we got that going on, which does have the issue with currency, and people have talked about, and I may have to do a video on it, but they were talking about Mexico and and their wages being the wages they are here, right? So that means that the Mexican peso would actually have to go up in value, and that would, a lot of people don't understand that if you want to stop people from coming over, then you're going to have to boost the South American economy. And what a way to do that is to raise the value of their currency. But that will be another one I will be getting after the dinar revalue. And actually, as a matter of fact, that's, now that I think about it, now I will say this, with the Mexican peso, that could be one of those that, because they've already signed their trade deal agreement, it could be one of those that might decide to slowly increase their value. And then you have your 10 to 15 cents, the Hong Kong, the Sweden krona, the Norwegian krone, the Hong Kong dollar, and the Trinidad dollar. So those are ones that I'm looking at. The corones, like I told you about the dreams, those are ones that are coming after the revaluation of the dinar, because there's no point of me putting money into the corones and krona right now when I know that the best value during the global currency reset is going to be the Iraqi dinar. So this it's going to be very important because you have, for many of you who have less than a million dinar, or maybe you just have a few, and there's a lot of things that you want to do. And when when you wake up and the dinar has revalued, the first thing you're going to want to do is go get some dong, right? Some Vietnamese dong. You can have your short list, right? But the very first one that you're going to have, that you're going to get on the day of, is your Vietnamese dong. That's going to be the first currency. And I showed you basically the ones that I'm looking at. And of course that could change. That could change tomorrow. I personally don't think that any of these currencies that are in the 1 to 9 cents, I don't think any of these currencies in the global currency reset, except for maybe Iraq and maybe a couple others that might be, the Iraq dinar will be more than the American dollar, but some of these other currencies might be on a more even playing field. So yeah, as I was saying, some of you don't have that much dinar, but you're gonna want to increase what you have, right? You're gonna be able to want to say, okay, Lord, I only got 500,000. I want to retire. And I want to do the things you want me to do. I want to do this. I want to build that. I want to start this business, right? So the moment the Dinar RV takes place, what's the first one you're gonna look at? It's gonna be Vietnamese dong. Then you can start concentrating on some of these others. And there's going to be so many, and there's a lot of currencies out there, folks, and there might be one that I'm missing, and that's what you guys are there for. So if you guys think there's a currency, maybe there's a small country out there that their value is just it's not very much. Maybe it might be one of those that get more that might take off. Yeah, so just tell me if you guys think there's a currency on there that's not on there. I can add it to the list and then do another video later on, because we are approaching this time. The nothing, and then suddenly, right? So we want to be in a position to increase our wealth, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people. There's a lot of people who have dinars right now. They don't listen. They don't listen to any of the dinar news. They don't listen to what's going on. They just know at some point it's going to change in value, and they just have it put up. They're not even thinking about it. And then you have those people who do listen. They do know the currency reset is coming, and they're going to take advantage of that opportunity. And see, there's going to be people scrambling when the dinar revalues. There's going to be people that you talk to the dinar about, and they're going to be like, "Man, what's the next one? Is there going to be another currency?" You're going to see a lot of that happen. So, and that's why, like when it comes to some of these, like the Thai baht, it's at 3 cents. So what could it possibly go up to? If it's really strong, it could go equal dollar for dollar. For every 3 cents you put in, you're going to make 97 cents. The first investments that I make immediately after the Dinar RV should be the most solid investments, the ones that have been discussed, the ones that most of those everybody has kicked around. Because folks, this is global. If you saw what happened in India, the President of the United States is over there, and he's talking about a new trade deal, right? So you're gonna see some things. You're gonna see some things happening. So you guys can take a look at my full list. This list here is designed for me for the very first currencies I'm investing in that I'll be looking at as soon as it takes off. If you guys think there should be one added to the list, so that when I make a video later on, go ahead and put that in, go ahead and comment that currency. So folks, very crucial for many of you who need to take their dinar and invest and increase your wealth. Very important. First 24 hours are very important. And the currencies that you invest in at that moment when you do your exchange are going to be very important. All right, folks, I thank you for listening. I got more videos coming this week. I hope you enjoyed this one. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. The more likes this video receives, the more it is recommended. With that being said, Twisted Christian out.